Well, coming up on this week's show, we are in the city of Toledo, one of our favorite shows of the year. You know, Columbus has a lot of great things, but I got to tell you, if you're visiting Northwest Ohio, Toledo is a great city, too, with a lot going for it. We visited the world-famous Tony Paco's, and we visited the Toledo Zoo and Aquarium, and they have a great new Expedition Africa that is just phenomenal. We visited that. There's a lot to see and do in this city. And Renee's out and about at night with some really cool musicians. Stay with us. You don't want to miss 1 minute of today's show. Standing here in the Toledo Museum of Art, a world-class museum, just one of the great destinations here in the Toledo area. We had an opportunity to talk to Kathy Miller, learn more about some of the other great places to see here in the Toledo area, as well as some great events. Well, Kathy, good to have you and Destination Toledo back on the show.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
I know there's always something big happening here in the Toledo area. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, so give us an idea what's up in Toledo.
The newest downtown entertainment district has just opened up this spring, Hensville. It's a $21 million redevelopment project. They took 3 buildings, revitalized them. They made entertainment venues, restaurants, shopping. You can watch the game from rooftop of Fleetwood's Tap Room. And then 9 restaurant, you can have lunch or dinner there. Go there to eat before the ball game. Of course, the great Toledo Mud Hens play down at Fifth Third Field.
So, Kathy, what's new over at the Toledo Art Museum? I understand they always have great displays in and exhibits in. So what's going on with them this year?
Right now, they have an awesome exhibit. It's called the Yame Plenza Human Landscape. The cool thing about this exhibition is it's an indoor and outdoor exhibition. And when I'm talking human landscape, you're talking huge sculptures of giant heads and 3-dimensional figures made out of different medium, and you just got to see it to believe it. It's going to be there through November 6th. So throughout the warm weather, you'll be able to enjoy it outside. I'm telling you, it's a one-of-a-kind exhibit. It is the last stop here in Toledo of this tour, so make sure you see that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now, the parks are doing something down in the water, right? That's just opening.
Metro Parks of Toledo area. This September, they're going to be opening the first and only Metro Park that will be on the Maumee River, called the Middle Grounds. It's going to have river views, great trails, and we're really excited about that, in addition to the green space in the downtown area.
You know, something I was excited to hearing about is you got a Jeep event coming up. I'm a Jeep owner, so I love Jeeps, and I know this is the home of where Jeep is built. So tell us what that's about.
Well, in celebration of 75 years of Jeep, with the first ever Toledo Jeep Fest. It'll be on Saturday, August 13th. It's an entire day event. It kicks off with a parade of Jeeps downtown at 11 a.m. And then after that, there's going to be a car show. So make sure you come out for that. We're really excited.
Sounds great. Well, I know there's always something going on in Toledo. So where do we find you? How do we get more information from Destination Toledo?
Well, what you want to do is go to visittoledo.org. You can order a visitor guide online or call us at 1-800-243-4667, and we'll get you set up with all the information that you need.
Fantastic. Kathy, good seeing you again. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
Well, we had an opportunity to stop by Burger King in Toledo, and this is one of the first 100 franchisees in the country. And they have some great innovations. Even that expression you hear, have it your way, we learn more from Emily Bennett. Well, Josh, good to have you and Emily on this show talking about Burger King and Bennett Management.
Absolutely.
So, Emily, let's talk a little bit about how this got started. I know you have about 25 stores in the Toledo area, and your husband started this. So let's talk a little bit about that.
He did. He had a career as a tax attorney and CPA in Miami, Florida. Thought it would be a good investment, and ended up getting the Toledo territory back in 1965. Opened up his first restaurant in 1966, restaurant number 261, which was made him one of the first 100 franchisees in the Burger King system.
Yeah. You know, I was telling you, my first job was at Burger King, so, you know, it's close to my heart, no question. Let's talk a little bit about some of the innovations that, as him being one of the early Burger King franchises that he came up with.
Sure. Bob was quite a visionary and could read the public and what the public wanted very clearly. So back in the mid-'60s, he was part of the franchise marketing council, and it was Bob's thought that the other fast food chains were serving things just off the menu, and Bob wanted the customers to be able to have it their way, and hence came up with the phrase, "Have it your way," which is still in effect today, which we're very proud of. One of the other things Bob did to make sure that our customers were getting the best service possible was to institute guest surveys within the system, and guest feedback was very important to us. Obviously, we want to make sure that we were doing the best for our customers, and Bob was the first franchisee to do that. So.
That's an amazing story. It really is. Josh, I'm going to turn to you because one of the things I'm noticing is a lot of remodels with Burger Kings, and you guys are definitely doing some things there, right?
Yes, we are. So currently right now, out of our 25 restaurants, we have 3 that are totally remodeled. Navarre, the location we're at currently, this was our 4th. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. So we refresh all the dining rooms, exterior, the restrooms included. Outside gets all of refreshed. It's nice that Emily is investing into the restaurants, so a lot of good work being done.
No question, Josh. It's a great look. It really is. Emily, turn it back to you.
Sure.
What do you see in the future for Bennett Management?
Oh, I see continued success, continued involvement with our community, teamwork, and just more of the best.
Fantastic. Tell us how we can learn more about Bennett Management online.
You can go to our website, bennettmanagement.com. Our history is there, restaurants are there, team members are there, and how the schools can become involved with Bennett Management, and community donations as well.
Fantastic. Emily, thanks for being on the show. Josh, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we all love the Hollywood Casino Columbus, but if you're traveling northwest in the state, there's a Hollywood Casino Toledo, and it is warm, friendly, great service, and obviously some fine dining at the Final Cut Steakhouse, as well as other options here. We had an opportunity to talk to Erica and learn more. Well, Erica, good to have you and Hollywood Casino Toledo on the show.
Thank you very much.
Obviously we love Hollywood Casino in Columbus.
Yes.
But if you're coming up northwest of the state, it's a great place to come. And of course, you have the Final Cut Steakhouse here as well as we do in Columbus.
Yes.
But you guys have some really nice awards and things that are going on. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, for the past 4 years, including 2016, we have had the Forbes 4-star rating with the travel guide. And then we also have received in the last 2 years, 2015 and 2016, the Wine Spectator Award. And we also have received in 2016 the Open Table Dining Award as well.
Well, one of the things I've learned about Hollywood Casino is that in this particular location, you guys are always striving for an A service rating. Now, what does that mean?
So the A service is what we strive to have as far as from our customers and our guests that come into the casino. We want to make sure that we're giving the best customer service to them.
Well, one of the things I love about Hollywood Casino is that I know this is your fine dining experience, but you also have other options for guests that come in, right?
Absolutely. So we have a 24-hour bar and grill service that allows guests to eat at any time here. We also have the Epic Buffet, which serves a variety from savory to sweet options, pizza to seafood, everything in between.
Gain many pounds there.
And then we also have the Scene Sports Bar and H Lounge. That's where we have our live entertainment on the weekends. And then it's a great atmosphere. We have about 16 craft beers there on tap, as well as a really nice menu for bar goers.
What about entertainment?
So actually we have on the weekends, Friday and Saturdays, we have entertainment starting at 9 o'clock in the H Lounge. And that is a space that people can rent out if they would prefer. But then also it's got a nice space for some dancing. And then we actually have a parking lot where in the summer times we offer summertime concerts.
Well, of course, the number one reason everybody comes to the casino is to do a little bit of gambling.
Absolutely.
So what do you have available for the guests?
So we have around 2,000 slot machines. We also have about 60 table games and 20 live poker tables to offer as well.
Something for everybody, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Fantastic. Where do we learn more information?
You can go to Hollywood Casino Toledo's website and find a little bit more information there. And then hopefully you will provide some of our wonderful phone numbers as well for our guests.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for being on the show.
If it's happening in Central Ohio, it's on our event page. ONAColumbus.com will give you detailed information on everything: arts, entertainment, education, sports, theater, and more. Go to ONAColumbus.com now and click on ONA events.
Well, a trip to Toledo would certainly have to include a stop by Tony Pacos. They have the Jack Daniel's single barrel and a great summer menu. And of course, we learned about some of that bun signing that they do here. What a great place to enjoy a wonderful meal. Well, Scott, good to have you on Out and About Columbus and so Tony Pacos. You know, one thing that's neat about this place is it has a great history. Tell us a little bit about, for people who may not have heard of Tony Pacos, what this is.
Tony Pacos opened in 1932 by Tony Pacos Sr., and we've been at this location for 84 plus years. We started having some degree of popularity with Burt Reynolds signing the first hot dog bun, and then later Max Corporate Klinger had an episode in MASH where he was pining for back home, and Mud Hens and Tony Pacos naturally came to evolve into 6 different episodes.
Yeah. I know it was a big deal with MASH, and Jamie Farr, of course, is originally from Toledo, correct?
Yes, Jamie lived actually across the river, and so it's a true story that he would cross the river to the east side and come to the restaurant when he was a kid.
And you mentioned Burt Reynolds signed buns. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that, because there's buns all over the walls here.
Yes, in 1972, Nancy Paco was operating the business, and she reached out to Burt Reynolds, who was in town, and he came over to the restaurant, and he was looking for something to sign, and so he reached down and grabbed a hot dog bun, and he signed the first hot dog bun. And from there, anyone you could imagine over the years has signed a hot dog bun.
It's amazing to walk around here and see some of the names that are on some of those hot dog buns. Well, let's talk a little bit about your summer menu and your Jack Daniel's single barrel.
Well, we selected our third single barrel of Jack Daniel's, which is a specific barrel that only can be found in Tony Pacos in Toledo. And we have specialty drinks that we have with Jack Daniel's, and it's a neat thing that we've done this third one over probably 5 years or so. And we paired it with our summer menu, and we have pulled pork sandwiches, pulled pork nachos, which are fabulous.
Well, it sounds delicious. Well, give us some information where we can find Tony Pacos here in the Toledo area.
Well, we have 5 different locations. The original is at 1902 Front Street. It's on the east side. We have a location downtown right across from Mud Hens Field. We have a location in Sylvania and 2 that are in the Andersons.
Well, give us that website.
www.tonypacos.com.
Well, on our trip to Toledo, we had an opportunity to stop by the Toledo Museum of Art and find the most amazing exhibit. I approve this message, Decoding Political Ads. And to talk to me a little bit about this display is Adam Levine. Adam, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about this. I've never seen anything like this.
Well, this exhibition is unique. We generated it here ourselves with a co-curator. The exhibition, as you said, is called I Approve This Message, Decoding Political Ads. It runs from July 14th to November 8th through Election Day and looks at presidential television spots between 1952 and 2012 and dissects them frame by frame to show visitors how the ads work to cause you to feel one of 4 emotions: hope, pride, fear, or anger.
To actually present this to the public and show them just how it's done behind the scenes, what was the motivation?
So the answer requires understanding a little bit about the Toledo Museum of Art. So obviously, this exhibition doesn't have any works of fine art in it. These ads are artful, but they are not fine art. The Toledo Museum of Art is one of the best museums in the world. It has this extraordinary collection, these amazing buildings, an amazing campus, so it doesn't stand to reason we would do an exhibition like this. But it is our mission here to teach people how to see better. We don't say, come to the museum and learn about art. We say, come to the museum and learn how to see by engaging with great works of art. Those sets of skills, teaching people how to see better, are called the visual literacy skills. So we teach people to be more visually literate.
Talk to our viewers a little bit about the mood room and what it does and what emotions that brings out in people.
Emotion causes you to make decisions or influences your decisions substantively. What that means, right, and in short, is that emotion trumps reason. A lot of people watching will say, oh, that makes a lot of sense. That applies to all these people I know, but not to me. I'm rational. I make decisions based on issues. If you go into the mood room where you'll experience 6 minutes of sound and image in a totally immersive environment, you will walk out feeling joy, feeling pride, feeling anger, feeling hope. Every single one of these emotions will be touched in there, and it will expose to you that sound and image in certain combinations cause you to feel, even if you think it doesn't.
The Palenza Human Landscape exhibit is here at the Toledo Museum of Art. And Helena Norton Westbrook is joining us today to talk a little bit about this exhibit. Tell us a little bit about this exhibit. I know this is inside and outside.
We're really excited to have this exhibition here. Jaume Plensa is one of the most important contemporary artists working today. He's a Spanish artist, and this is an exhibition that really spreads out across the entire campus. So there's major sculptural works spread throughout the outside and also inside, as well as a selection of works on paper, so you can really see the artist's whole process.
Tell us a little bit about the actual artist himself.
As I said, so he is a Spanish artist, works in Barcelona mainly, and he is really well known for these monumental sculptures. You often see them in public spaces throughout the United States and in fact throughout the world. So it's really special to have a kind of condensed grouping of these sculptures here on our campus to really activate it and enliven the space.
Depending on what angle that you're looking at the sculpture, it appears in a three-dimensional mode to a flat mode.
They're very interactive in that sense. You know, they're almost, my husband says they're like 4D. So sometimes they look 3D, sometimes they look 2D, depending on where you're standing. So they have this incredible quality that you really have to see in person to appreciate.
Tell our viewers how we can find you and get more information about this exhibit, and how long is this going to be here?
So this is going to be here all summer through November 6th. So it'll be up for quite a while. The sculptures light up at night, so they're absolutely beautiful. So we encourage people to come see it in the evening as well. You can get more information at toledomuseum.org, and our phone number is 419-255-8000 for more general information.
Well, we stopped by Expedition Africa at the Toledo Zoo, and this is an amazing new part of the zoo. What a great attraction. We had an opportunity to talk to Dennis and learn more. Well, Dennis, good to have you on Out and About Columbus.
Thanks.
You know, I'm a huge fan of the zoo. I know I live in Columbus, but I'd come here. I actually came to your aquarium over the winter. What a fabulous place. And I see you got a great new fun park here. Tell us all about it and what you're doing.
Great. Well, we new to the Toledo Zoo and Aquarium this year is our Expedition Africa, our aerial adventure course, and it's a terrific, fun environment and attraction for guests to come out and just enjoy something different here at the zoo. Gives them a unique perspective, almost to give them a chance to immerse themselves in the exhibit in a way that they haven't been able to before.
Well, tell us what makes this zip line so unique.
That's actually what makes it the most unique is the fact that we actually are able to zip from the 80-foot tower on the other side across our African exhibit above where the animals are located. It's something you can't really find at a lot of other places.
That is something else. Is there any other parts to this exhibit?
Well, the great thing about this exhibit or this attraction is the fact that it really has a lot of a la carte options. People can do everything from a very quick, what we call a quick drop, which is basically stepping off the tower and it's a 30-foot controlled drop to the ground, to our big experience, which is the 80-foot tower on the other side, where they can actually zip across 760 feet to the tower we're standing on right now.
That's fabulous. You know, obviously the question I have to ask is, you guys are like one of the top 10 zoos in the nation.
Uh-huh.
What do you think got you up there?
I think it's our personalized guest experience here. I think our guests are able to experience the animals and the environment here in a way that they can't at a lot of other facilities. We're very conscious about our conservation efforts, and we make sure that we incorporate that as much as possible, and it truly is a nice educational experience where our guests get a chance to interact and get as close as they can and learn as much as they can while still respecting the animals' environment.
Yeah, it is an incredible place. Where do we learn more information about the Toledo Zoo for folks coming from the Columbus area?
Probably the best place to go will be our website, which is www.toledozoo.org.
Stay up to date on the latest events and information by visiting onacolumbus.com. It's easy to catch up on previous episodes, guests, upcoming event info, and so much more. onacolumbus.com.
Well, Rossford's just located south of Toledo, and Camping World and Bass Pro Shops is just some of the business that's been a part of the extensive growth here in this town. We had an opportunity to talk to Beth Jensen and learn more about some of the things that are happening here in Rossford. So we are in Camping World. Tell us a little bit about that. I know this is just about the Bass Pro Shops, and we featured Bass Pro Shops last year on the show, so let's talk a little bit about this.
Camping World opened in 2014 here in Rossford, and it is right next to Bass Pro, so it's great if you want to stop at both. If you're an outdoor person, you can, bring your camper in. They do service. They have over 300 campers on site, everything from the little pop-ups to the great big, buses that you drive. So it's a really fun place to go. In fact, I even bring tour groups here to check all the campers out and check out the store because there's something for everybody.
Yeah. It's amazing inventory that they have. Well, I know that last year we were here and you had some hotels under construction and things were going on as far as rooms here in the Rossford area. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, we actually had a very, very exciting announcement just about a month ago. There's going to be a new convention conference center with hotel, retail, and restaurants that's being built across from Hollywood Casino. So it's actually in Rossford. It's right across from the casino. There will be a gondola system that takes guests over to the casino. So very cool, very new for the area. A lot going on there, planned high-end restaurants and retail. Opening date probably around spring of 2019. So that's going to be a while. But then we also have a brand new hotel opening at Clark Drive, which will give us 4 hotels total there. So about 400 rooms for people right off the Turnpike and I-75.
You got some events happening here in Rossford coming up, right?
Well, we just had Ohio Chautauqua, and we hope to have that again soon, and at least in another 2 years. It's kind of a 2-year cycle. And then we are looking at next year doing a fishing tournament. We're working with Bass Pro and possibly Camping World and other people in the area, and looking at doing a fishing tournament in April, second week of April. So we'll have more news coming about that.
Rossford just actually started growing a lot here in the last how many years?
Just in the last 5 years that I've been working with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, we've seen a lot of growth. Of course, it's the location at 75 and the Turnpike. So there's lots of property here to develop. Even on this Bass Pro complex, there's about 200 acres left for development. So we'd love to have some people come out and build some restaurants and fun things. So just give us a call.
Amazing growth. Love to see it. How do we get more information, Beth?
You can go to our website, which is visitRossfordohio.com. We put all our events and links up there to everything in the area.
Fantastic. Good to see things are happening here. Thank you so much. Well, Deitch Brothers has been a Findlay landmark since 1937 for fine chocolates and ice cream. We had an opportunity to talk to Tom Deitch and learn more about this wonderful place. Well, Tom, good to have you and Deitch Brothers back on the show. You were on a couple years ago. This place was like a Findlay landmark. Tell us a little bit of the history here.
Well, we've been here since 1937. We started across the street and we moved to this corner in 1956, and we've been here ever since. So yes, we are a landmark in Findlay.
No question. And a lot of travelers that come through here. Let's talk a little bit about the products that you have, what you make, and what's your most popular things.
Well, we make a full line of ice cream that's all manufactured here. We have about 35 to 45 flavors on and off throughout the year. We do monthly flavors. We do our regular mainstay flavors. And then we also make a full line of chocolates, box chocolates. We sell individually out of the case. We have a great line of chocolate products that we manufacture here also. We try to maintain a little bit of the old-time confectionery where it's strictly candy and ice cream.
And the good news is that if you want some of these products, you don't even have to travel to Findlay. If you live in the Columbus area, they're available in the Columbus area, right?
We have some products in the Hills markets at Columbus. They carry our chocolate-covered pretzels, which is probably our number one item on the chocolate side.
I understand you guys are going through a big renovation here. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, a few years ago, we added on to the back of the building. We added about 8,000 square foot. We enlarged the production area, moved it around, and it allowed us to move things back, and we're now opening up the retail space to add about 1,000 square foot to the retail area for the candy side. So it's much needed for the holidays, and that alleviates some of the crowding up there.
Fantastic. Well, give us an address, how we can find you, because when we're traveling up this way, we got to stop and give this a try.
Well, we have 2 stores in Findlay. Our main store that everything's manufactured at is on West Main Cross Street. It's 400 West Main Cross. We're about 3/4 of a mile east of I-75.
So give us a website and contact phone.
DeitchBrothers.com. The phone number is 419-422-4474.
Well, Alexander was scheduled to be torn down, but Mike Mallett, who loves preserving the history of Findlay, saved this building, and this place is absolutely breathtaking. With a rooftop bar and 2 other bars inside, plus 2 event spaces, we learned more about this great spot from Mike Mallett. We were here a few years ago, and what a great place. Tell us a little bit about this establishment. How many bars do you have in here?
So it's one building from the 1800s. It was an old horse livery and was scheduled for tear down, and we ended up taking it and renovating it. So downstairs we've got a tap room, and it's 36 different craft beers on tap. And then you go up a floor to the upper deck, holds a few hundred people, and it's on some old bowling lanes. And then you go up another flight, and you're on the rooftop bar, which is called La Vista. So we have 3 bars and then 2 large banquet areas.
You also do events here as well, right?
Yeah, we have a wedding here almost every weekend. We have, since Marathon's so close, we have events all week long in either the Brunswick Room or the Finley Room. Finley Room holds about 300. Brunswick holds about 80. And it's Brunswick Room because it's on half of the bowling lanes.
You were talking about craft beers. How many do you have on tap? And they completely rotate every once in a while, right?
Yeah, so there's 36 taps here. There's 8 taps upstairs. There's 4 in the back. So we've got a lot of taps. Down here, when a keg blows, it's a whole new keg from another brewery coming in. So we do have some Columbus beers on tap every once in a while. Cincinnati beers. We try to keep Ohio going, but we bring them in from all over. And we sell so much craft beer that companies like Breckenridge, they sent us a snowboard last year to thank us.
Where do we find Alexandria's if we're coming to Finley?
Just go downtown, park, and you'll find it. I own the parking garage next door, so you can just pull in the garage and walk in. It's easy to get around downtown, and there's a lot of cool places downtown, great restaurants. It's really a cool.
And what's your website here?
The website here is alexandriasfinley.com.
Fantastic. Mike, pleasure. Thanks so much for being back on the show.
Appreciate you coming.
Do you enjoy the local music scene? Then visit the featured music page on onacolumbus.com for interviews and information on some of Columbus's best musical acts.
Well, some of the best R&B and funk was made back in the day, and the Hot Boys can play it like no one else. They'll have everybody up and out of their seats. Mike and Steve told me more about the group and their musical influences. With me is Michael and Steve, and Mike, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about the Hot Boys. So what kind of music do you guys play?
R&B mostly, funk as well. Pretty much the bands that we draw music from is basically based out of Ohio, the Ohio area. In the 70s and 80s and 90s, those bands pretty much dominated the airways. So we kind of draw from those guys.
So what are your musical influences? Who are some of your artists that you love to play?
Mostly those guys out of Ohio. Isley Brothers, Lakeside, Daz Band, Ohio Players, most of those bands, yes.
So I understand you guys play with some of those bands. Tell us about some of the bands that you play with personally.
Yeah, well, my partner Stone here plays for the Daz Band from time to time, the national act. He's on the road from time to time. He also plays with Glenn Jones, the national singer, pretty much as well. They toured nationally. I play with a couple guys that are known out of Ohio. Foley, who basically played with Miles Davis and those guys. I sit in and play with him from time to time. We all just draw from those guys. We pretty much know all of them.
Wonderful. It sounds fantastic. Steve, I'm going to turn to you. So I understand, you play R&B and funk, but you guys play it different than other bands play it different. And why is that? Talk about that.
Well, what we try to do is put our originality in all the cover music and everything. We take what they've given us already and flip it a couple times. Everybody's own personalities in it. You'll hear a lot of different stuff from us when you hear us play.
And I also understand that you play things that not every band plays because maybe it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, we try to stick with more challenging music. A lot of the bands, they just don't want to practice and tackle it, but we'll go ahead and tackle the issue and go ahead and get it done.
Well, I love what you guys do. How can we find out more about where you're playing and more about your band?
Well, we got a Facebook page, Reverb Nation. Probably could look us up individually. He's told you his name. You know my name. Look us up on Facebook, and we'll tell you where we're going, what we're doing, and where we're going to be.